Okay. Welcome to Noob, Novice, and Amateur, where we, three idiots, rank Marvel Snap cards.
Hey,
Um,
speak for yourself.
that was, you want to go in order and introduce yourself? You can start, Thomas.
I'm not an idiot. One, Thomas. I'm the novice. No, noob. I'm the noob. I've never played before.
Yep, I'm Alex. I'm also not an idiot, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I'm the novice. I've played
I'm
for 50-ish hours.
I'm Joseph. I'm the amateur. I've made Infinite the last couple seasons now. Um, I've got them definitely. I try to keep up with the Marvel Snap meta game, but it's always hard to predict how good cards will be before the community has them. Today we're going to be talking about September cards. First, we'll do a review. We'll go over quickly just our predictions for which cards would be best in August and how that panned out. Um, Thanks for joining us. So, in August, Thomas thought Wiccan would be best, then Marvel Boy, then Kate Bishop, then Hulkling, then Speed. Alex thought Marvel Boy, Kate Bishop, Speed, Hulkling, Wiccan. I thought Marvel Boy, Kate Bishop, Hulkling, Speed, Wiccan. Now, it's really hard to tell what cards are best at any given time because the metagame shifts so much in Marvel Snap, and because what does best even mean, right? If it's a good card across a lot of decks versus a super important card in one deck, right? What makes a card the best? Um, I'm about to say what the official rankings are. I think only the top rank, and the fifth rank are real, but that are really set in stone. The other three could shift around a lot depending on metagame.
Ooh,
So this is the real ranking.
fascinating.
Thomas, Wiccan takes number two. I'm not sure if this stays. Wiccan number two is propped up by this 3/5 card being one of the best in the meta. One and it just worked really well with Wiccan. Loki kind of propped it up all last season. It's been nerfed, so Wiccan might take a tumble.
Hmm.
Um, Kate Bishop has gone in tons of things. One thing we underestimated about her is that those arrows really, really, really help your curve. They just slot in super easily, and they're very natural and very useful in a ton of different decks. Um, Wiccan worked out well. Wiccan got a buff from the pre-release cards that we were looking at. So instead of being a 4/5, he was a 4/7, which meant fails were a lot less painful. And then also it worked well with Loki. Marvel Boy was super powerful in his deck. His deck for the past month has been kind of the bottom of meta relevant cards. Speed has been just really good stats 3/7, 3/8. If you're running them in the Wiccan decks with Kate Bishop's filling in those holes. So sometimes he's 3/8, 3/9. Very consistently, very strong, but pretty boring. Like he could be second best on this list come end of next month. Who knows? I overestimated Emperor Hulkling. He's got this surprise factor where he could be like this really good card with over stats,
Is
but
this
most of the
the
time,
6 mana one?
yeah, this is the
Okay.
6/11 copy a random six card. Sorry,
And
this is
okay,
oh man, this
so
might be
you
a
got
terrible.
this was your worst take for sure.
This was my
I knew
worst
you
take.
were
Yes,
wrong. I knew you were wrong. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, you put him as third. I mean, not crazy.
Wiccan's actually my worst take. I thought
Oh,
Wiccan
that's
was going to
fair.
be
Yep, we both put
yeah,
Wiccan as last. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
trash. But Wiccan was pretty good. Yeah. The thing about Emperor Hulkling is sometimes he gives you a card that randomly wins you the game. Most of the time, he just copies a decent card. But then the problem is you would rather just put in that decent card
Right. Yep.
all the time and just have consistency.
Yep.
He's he's like a there's generic 6 drops for when you just need a 6 drop. He's a decent generic 6 drop, probably like the third or the fourth that you'd put in. I mean, like there's a bunch of just good ones. So like you might put him in. He wouldn't hurt your deck. He might improve some things about it, but really he doesn't do anything that's better
Yeah.
than just another
Yeah.
6 drop.
Cool.
Okay. On to the real video, the September cards. Thomas will be reviewing these first, giving a rating out of 10. 5
10.
is yeah, we did out of 10 last time.
I think he's giving
What?
his rating. He's ready to rate.
Oh.
He gives this 10 probably just because it's Spider-Man is what my assumption is.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
This is Thomas. We're in a Spider-Man themed month, though of course the most major cards in Spider-Man are already out. But this is Symbiote Spider-Man, so the black suit. He's a 4/6, and he's got text says activate, merge your lowest card here with this, copy its text like it just revealed. Activate is a brand new mechanic. Okay, so this season introduces a new mechanic. You put Spider-Man symbiote on down on turn 4. You can't use that line of text on the turn you play it. Any future turn, you can click activate within the order of things. So you can put down one card,
Okay, sure.
then put down then activate, then put down a different card. So activate is powerful because you get to choose exactly when in your flow of things you want it to go with.
But you can't activate on the turn it was played, is that correct?
You can't activate on the turn it was played. Yep.
Okay.
It like preloads on reveal effects.
Okay.
So if you put Symbiote Spider-Man down, Alex would understand this. You could then on turn 6 put down a Doctor Doom, merge with that Doctor Doom if that was the only card there, right? And then fired off the Doctor Doom effect twice because it repeats on reveal effects.
So is it lowest costing card at like in its row or
in its row? Yeah, there's 3.
Oh, okay, that makes it a lot better. I was like, if you put a 1 costing card, it always has to. Okay.
Yeah, it's really bad if you're like merging with random 1 cost cards, but you're not going to be doing that, right? You can set it up to be the cards that you want to repeat.
But you can only really merge it twice, right? If I understand the game correctly.
Activates a once per game ability. It cannot be repeated.
Okay.
Plus when
But
cards
then it
merge, when the merge effect, the 2 cards become 1 card, so it only takes a 1 spot, and then their power add together.
Mm-hmm. And then this copies its text, so if it's an ongoing card, it still has that, but it also will re-proc on reveal effects.
As much as I would like to say 10, I'm going to say 6. I don't really think. I mean, I think it's kind of cool, but I think it's just what's it called? Like a power boost or like a tool card that you could place on a Pokemon or something in Pokemon that would increase its damage, you know. That's just kind of how I'm seeing it.
It's an equipment. It's just
yeah,
okay.
That's yep. So 6.
I think I'm a little bit more optimistic on this. I mean the deck that I played to get to Infinite was an on reveal deck, and so I know there are quite a few powerful on reveal effects in the game, and so obviously it requires a little bit of setup because in order to get a powerful on reveal effect, you have to have it be alone in the row with like the tiger lady person who puts out a whatever statted unit that was, stuff like that. But I think that's pretty feasible. I'm gonna give it like a 7.5.
I'm gonna go with an 8. I think there's a lot of really weird things that you can do with this. For example, one that I don't think will actually be good, but is really weird. There's this card called Galactus, which is a 6/5, and on reveal, if you're winning at that location, you destroy the other locations. Well, this will make it a 6/11, right? You can put down Galactus, activate Symbiote to merge with it, and suddenly you have this 6/11 Galactus play, right? And there's a bunch of weird things that you can do with like that I think it's gonna be pretty dang good. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Cool. Isn't there a 1-drop that like doubles its power on reveal, or is that every time it moves it doubles its power? What am I thinking of?
There's a 1-drop that every time it moves doubles its power,
Okay, every time it moves.
which might be important in a second. But there's also like a 5-drop that is on reveal double this card's power.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that goes from a 5. It makes a ginormous card if you put Symbiote Spider-Man on it.
yeah.
Just ginormous. So there's some scaling things like that that might be meta relevant. We will see, but I think it'll be good. The next card is Silver Sable. She's a 1/1 on reveal. Steal 2 power from the top card of your opponent's deck. Now, if you don't know, steal 2 power means she'll become a 1/3, and then your opponent's next draw will have -2 power.
I think pretty obviously this is a
Pretty obviously, and then he pauses before
Card that they're releasing in Marvel Snap.
I'm gonna say 4. I just like you don't actually know what the next card will be. Like it could be bad for them, right? But it could also be a card that they just won't end up playing. And I don't know how good a 1/3 is, but it doesn't seem that good. So I'm gonna say 4.
Yeah, I'm not too optimistic on this either. I mean, another way to look at it is kind of like a 1/5 because you get 2 power and you're stealing 2 power. That's only if they want to play their unit, which, I mean, they probably do. You only draw so many cards in a game of Marvel Snap. Um, I don't know. My first impressions is it's not going to be that good, though, so I'll just go ahead and stick with that and give it a 3.
I think this card's pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 8. Yeah, I mean, like if they don't choose to play it, it's almost a 1/3 prevent a draw, right? If that card existed, we would play the heck out of it. -2 is pretty good, so it's pretty much like you mentioned a 1/5. But it's got other benefits. It's probably going to fit pretty well into bounce and be played multiple times. So it'll be like scaling because it's played multiple times. I think it's not, I'm going to drop my ranking to. I just know how good I think the upcoming cards are. So that makes me want to drop the ranking. But I think this is an 8. I think this is a really good card.
Okay.
You're allowed to be wrong.
I was wrong last month. Thomas, this is Madam Web. She's a 2/1 ongoing, which means every turn you can move one of your other cards away from here each turn.
And then there are cards that synergize with moving. I'll give you that piece of information.
Yeah, right. Which I mean, you were talking about a card that like doubles its power every time.
Right, right.
And if you can move it with the symbiote, 2/1. Looks like she's wearing an Iron Man suit.
I think it's the dress.
Yeah.
This is they made a movie about her.
Because of that, we're gonna have to bump it up by 1. Say 5. No, well, okay, wait. each turn. Well, the issue is if you have someone you want to be moving, well, but you only need to move them once. I'm still gonna say 5. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to know, they try to release Marvel Snap cards as good.
Yeah,
They
well, they
only
can be
release
wrong as well.
five, but that's your pick, and I like it. I like the take. Alex, what do you rate this card?
I'm just not that big of a fan of move decks. Maybe they've gotten better. That's the thing. I remember back when I played, they were just not good, which makes me think that this wouldn't add enough support to make them good. Um, but I feel like it would be fairly useful in that deck. So maybe if that deck has gotten a little bit stronger, it would be better. So I don't know. I'll give it like a because if you're moving a character every turn, that is a good chunk of value. If you slap this down on turn 2, you're gonna move quite a few characters. Um, 3, 4
I don't
ish.
think you'll get. I don't think you get a move on turn 2, but
Okay,
you get
yeah.
3, and they're targeted. You get to pick the card from the location, and then you get to pick which location it moves to.
Okay. Um, I don't want to give it more than a 7. I'll give it like, or more than a 7 feels too high. I just don't think move decks are good. But that is definitely just old meta me. So I'll give it like a 6.5. I'll keep giving halves. Yep.
Remember to bump it up one because she has an Iron Man suit.
No, I'm not
Oh
moving it
yeah,
up one. I'm gonna move it up one because of the Iron Man suit, but move it down one because of how bad the movie was. So it
Oh,
balances out.
but there was a movie?
Yeah, you did it.
yeah, Madam It
How
was
long?
bad. This summer?
Really? Man, I am out of touch.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty
It's
big thing
very,
because of how bad it was. That's
it
why
was
it was so big.
because of how bad it was. It's in the Venom verse, the Sony's Venom
Uh,
thing. Yeah, and so it was really bad. Alex is correct. Move is terrible. There's some like move packages where like a card is so good. Like some of these move cards are so powerful when they just move once. Specifically this card called Dagger is played at the top level, and there's some move cards played with them. But like move as an archetype is so bad. I'm gonna rank this card a 10. I
What?
believe after this card release, move will be the best deck in the game.
Okay.
I think this card is busted. I think it is making move the best deck in
Okay, okay, I like it. I dig it. I dig the take.
the game. It's gonna get some help to make move the best card in the game with the next week. Wow, I just butchered that sentence. This is Aranya, a 1/1. Give the next card you play, activate. Give the next card you play +2 power and move it to the right.
7.
Any
I don't
any
think I need to
further?
explain myself.
I think you should.
I think it's just like I don't know how many good cards there are at the beginning, right? So I know nothing. But you play this one card, and then you can improve your second round churn, which just
Mhm.
seems like a beneficial thing to do for cheap. I'm just gonna say 7.
Yeah, no, I like it. Because it's activate specifically, and that makes it way better than just on reveal. Because I'm not sure how many 2 cost targets really want the +2 power and move it to the right. But I think there are a lot of targets that will want this down the road, and so activate makes this a 1 mana 1/3 plus moving. I don't know. I think that sounds quite strong. I mean, even with the double power one, it's like a 1 mana 1/5 plus it's probably going to get doubled again later. Now that I'm convinced that move will be good just because Joseph said so, I'll give it like a 9 instead of normally. I feel like even if I didn't think move was good, the couple
This
move
is
pieces, this would be a great move piece. Like it's just
right.
seems really strong because you can do it whenever you want. Anyway, so I'll give it a 9.
Aranya, I'm also gonna give Aranya a 9. You get to preload that move up. Um, I think this is just a super strong month. If you haven't heard my numbers, but Aranya, you get to pre-move that move up. Human Torch is a 1/2 doubles every time it moves, which makes that if you play Human Torch after this, it's a 1/4 that doubles to a 1/8. Um, Thomas asked how good one drops are. One drops are usually pretty bad. They often have to end up hitting around a 1/5 or have some other synergy for them to be really meta relevant. It just it's kind of hard, but this one I think will. Not only with the movement stuff that I've talked about, but there's also just cards that like to get buffed. And you can string this in whenever to specifically hit those cards that like to get buffed. Scarlet Spider. You can move one of your other cards. I did not update the text on this slide.
Got to update.
Activate. You may create an exact copy of Scarlet Spider at a random other location.
Oh, that's very different.
So yeah, don't ignore the text. So this is a 4/5 that creates a copy of itself at a different location. So at base, it's a 4/10 split over 2 locations.
He looks pretty buff.
Secretly, Thomas's ratings this entire time has just been on the artwork. We just didn't.
This is Ben Riley, a clone of Peter Parker.
Oh, which why? Yeah, okay. The issue is, 4/5 isn't that great. Yes, you get a duplicate, but that means that it takes up 2 spots, 2 4/5s, you know? Um, so it's not actually gonna be that good. So 5, because I like Spider-Man.
um, yeah, I mean a 410 isn't that impressive. I don't know how much synergy there is with having tons of things out on the board because sometimes that can be an advantage, other times it's a disadvantage. I think most of the time if you're running this card, you're wanting it to be an advantage. I just remember my good old. Oh, is that a 5 mana? No, Iron Claw, the Claw dude. I think he. I don't remember his stat line.
All was 5 mana. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, and they've buffed him since he played. He
Oh,
used to
cool.
be 5/4 +6 to the location to the right. And now, wait, he used to be 5/4 +6 to the location to the right, and now he's 5/4 +8 to the location.
Oh. Just 12 mana split across 2 spots. This is 10 mana split across 2 parts. Maybe a 4/10 is good. Am I wrong on that? Now I'm second guessing myself. I'll give this. I. I'll give this a 7. Nothing crazy. I'm hedging my bets a little here with that bet, but
4/10s are definitely good.
okay.
That's the number where you're like, oh, that's a really good card. Now, makes a really good point. This does take up 2 slots, which is a cost, right? It costs 2 slots. That extra spot it goes to can be a closed off location, which can be a boon, or it could be the location you're not challenging, which can be a problem. But if you buff this card before you activate it, um, it doubles any buffs, right?
Yeah.
So if you Ranya Scarlet Spider, you're now looking at a 4/14 or 4/14 because any buffs are effectively doubled on Scarlet Spider. Um, or if you do Symbiote Spider-Man on Scarlet Spider, right? And then split it. You could only do that once, but then you're looking at a 422, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of potential for this card. I think it's going to be an 8 as well. I think this whole season's bangers. I don't think any of them are going to flop. I think they're all going to be meta cards. I gave them 3 8s, a 9, and a 10. Wow. Um,
Yep.
so now it's time for a final review. I probably should have put a list of all the names here to help. But Thomas, we want you to rank in order what you think. Symbiote Spider-Man, um, Silver Sable, Madam Web, Aranya, and Scarlet Spider will be.
Okay. Obviously, it's Symbiote first.
Mhm.
I'm just going Symbiote, Scarlet, the 1/1 person, Arena or whatever it was. And the that lady Silver Stable, then the Spider Lady, that Madam Web.
There's definitely a duplicate in there, but that's okay.
No,
No, there
he,
wasn't.
he did Symbiote Spider. No, he said 1/1 and you thought it was Silver Sable, but he meant Aranya.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
He did Symbiote Spider-Man, Symbiote Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider. Wow, just repeating this sentence back. You can just rewind. I'm not gonna repeat it back for you. Alex.
Yeah, I'm convinced the 1-mana 1/1 is the best. Um, that one, yes. Aranya, and then um, I think Sable's the worst. So I got those two locked in. In between, uh, yeah, Joseph's kind of convinced me on Madam Web just because of all the move synergy, especially in these cards. So I'll do Madam Web as number 2, and then for some reason I think this is a little bit of a hot take, but I'm just kind of a fan of the symbiote spider just because I think the Burge might do some crazy things. So I'm gonna put symbiote spider as number 3, and then as number 4, put the silver sable I'll put as number 5, and then as number 4 is
Scarlet Spider.
yeah, there you go.
And if move doesn't by itself become meta, I think Alex will be right that Aranya is the best. And I think it will be Madam Web, Aranya, Symbiote Spider-Man. I think there's a lot there too. So we all kind of have him higher, I guess. Silver Sable, because I'm a Silver Sable believer, and then
Yeah.
Scarlet Spider, because someone has to be last, not because Scarlet Spider
Yeah.
is bad. Okay. Well, we'll see in a month how this was. Any final thoughts?
No, it seems like a good chunk of cards. Yeah.
Seems like I'm going to be right and you will be wrong, obviously, because of my immense knowledge of this game.
Yes.
You put Madam Web last. I just
It's gotta be
No, I
right.
didn't.
It's gotta be right.
I
is
put her
this
second
right?
to last. I put Scarlet, whatever bucket, last, I believe. Or no, I didn't. I might have put Web last. You might be
I
right.
thought you put Scarlet Spider second.
No, no, no,
You'll
no.
just have to
Silver
rewind and
Lady.
find out.
Symbiote.
Civil Stable. Yeah, never mind. I think I might have put the Web last. You're right. And based on the movie that I've never seen or heard of before this video, and you know everything else, she's down there. You know.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking about like, can you like if you duplicate Scarlet Spider or whatever, and then you use the symbiote on it, will it duplicate again? So you have 3 of them?
I am not sure.
No,
I don't
activate is
think
different than on reveal, so you would not get it.
right. Right. I don't think so. I don't. It's possible because it's like I'm not sure which card it's technically considered, and then it's a new card, right? Like if you had copied the text different way. I don't think so. I think activates are all going to only happen once per game. In which case,
I
if that
disagree.
wasn't true, it's probably known information out there. But if it wasn't true, that would be a very powerful combo because you have like a 4-10 that turns into a 4.
16.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be a lot.
Yes.
And
And
already doing it will be quite powerful, right? Because it's 11, right? In each, so it's like 22 power total. So if you can do it before you duplicate, or after you duplicate, it becomes a 26 kind of power play.
unless you can
I think,
up the power of it originally before you duplicate it.
It's true.
which if
Yeah,
you
you get
put down an
more.
Aranya is quite easy, quite doable, right?
Yep.
Because you can string that activate in whenever, which is why Aranya is going to be so good.
Anyways, there you go. That's why I have put symbiote and Scarlet Spider. So if that doesn't work, then
But then the mood stuff's at top, right? Thanks for joining me, y'all. It was so much fun. Thanks, Mom, for listening. Remember, Mom, if you like it, you're more likely to get recommended it again in your feed at some later day.
Yep. Yep.
I did want to say one last thought that I'm remembering is I worry that I've led you guys down a move trap. The move won't be good.
You have not. You have not.
I have
put
not.
Wolf as
Thomas,
my
I
last.
failed.
That's right. Thomas is
But
gonna be the most correct. Okay.
he might have been most correct. He might have been most correct last month.
Maybe.
If we did it based off right position, then I think I won with 1 right. If we did a calculation that was one of our viewers, our one viewer, Mom, you can go do that like closest calculation comparing last month's to the actuals. I ranked
good.
Marvel Snap Noob 4 out of 5.